the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Breaking details coming in this hour. A criminology student arrested in the murders of those 4 Idaho College co-eds. What we're learning right now about his background. Also tonight, the tremendous impact teen violence in the district is having on one family. Plus, your first forecast. Amazing weather as we get ready to ring in the new year around the DMV. We'll get you caught up on some local celebrations. And thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 5. I'm Mark Hall. We start tonight with a story on this man, 28-year-old Brian Christopher Kohberger, accused of killing the 4 Idaho college students picked up in the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania earlier today. 4 weeks at the murder scene in Moscow, Idaho, a cleaning crew took items out of the house, and investigators went through close to 20,000 email, phone call, and social media tips before this morning's arrest. As of right now, the cleanup at the house has stopped. That was a legal request from the court because of the arrest. Now, taking you back to the timeline, 4 University of Idaho students, Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Moggen, Xana Kernerdle, and Ethan Chapman were stabbed to death in that rental home near campus early Sunday morning on November 13th. An attorney for the Goncalves family says tonight they're relieved that someone has been arrested. Investigators just wrapped up a news conference in Idaho, and here are some of the details.
These murders have shaken our community, and no arrest will ever bring back these young students. However, we do believe justice will be found through the criminal process. This was a very complex and extensive case. We had developed a clear picture over time, and we stand assured that the work is not done, but be assured the work is not done. This has just started. Since November, we have remained laser focused on pursuing every lead in our pursuit of justice for the victims and their families. I recognize the frustration with the lack of information that's been released. However, providing any details in this criminal investigation might have tainted the upcoming criminal prosecution or alerted the suspect of our progress. We will continue to provide as much information as we can as the process moves forward. Today, I want to specifically thank our dedicated Moscow Police Department detectives, patrol officers, the Idaho State detectives, the Idaho State troopers, and their crime lab technicians and scientists, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation for the resources and personnel to conduct this massive investigation. It was the dedication of them and the persistence and the numerous hours that led to an arrest.
Yeah, other details we're just getting from police. Brian Kohberger was a graduate student at Washington State University. That campus is about 7 miles away from the University of Idaho. Kohberger was found and arrested in the Chestnut Hill Township of Pennsylvania. Police are still looking for the murder weapon. The suspect is in jail without bond, and he will have a public defender for his next court appearance that's scheduled for Tuesday. Police say it took a while to have him, it's going to take a while for him to be extradited back to Idaho to face the first-degree murder charges, and they're asking for anyone who knows anything about him to give police a call. Turning to weather, meteorologist Damon Matson joins us now. And Damon, today was a beautiful day. Near record temperatures?
Nearly record temperatures indeed, Mark. Yeah, we didn't quite get there, folks, but it was so warm. Still is as we head into this evening. Officially, that high today in Washington, D.C. did hit the 65-degree mark. Is it early April, or are we transitioning to the new year? Tough to tell if you just look at the temperatures, but yeah, there you have it. Just shy of that record, which was 70 degrees set back in 1990. So not quite record-breaking, but really close. And look at this. Across the entire viewing area, pretty much everybody except Cumberland got into the 60s officially. Cumberland at 58 there, but look at across Northern Virginia, almost 70 degrees. Culpeper, Fredericksburg, Manassas, and over into southern Maryland. Pretty similar stuff. It was quite the treat from Mother Nature. And all the while, too, we did have a decent amount of sunshine to go along with that, but looking off to the west, this clear sky that we've had most of the week is now coming to a close. Clouds are quickly moving in across the Ohio River Valley as we see the next storm system approaching from the south and west here as we roll into the holiday weekend. But despite the clouds increasing, there is no concern of any rainfall for your Friday evening plans, and it stays mild. Temperatures are not going to get out of the 50s anytime soon. Still 53 as we approach the 8 o'clock hour. And as we head into the New Year's weekend, things still looking pretty good overall. We're not losing the warm temperatures whatsoever. High still in the 50s on New Year's Eve, near 60 by New Year's Day. And we do now have a completely dry forecast in the mix for your New Year's Day as this storm system exits. However, yes, we still have rain in the forecast, especially tomorrow afternoon and evening for your New Year's Eve. So when are you most likely to need that rain gear out there for whatever holiday plans or celebrations you may have? We'll have a check of that full forecast coming up here in just a bit.
Damon, thank you so much. 2022 ending on a violent note around D.C. 3 people shot dead around the district within 8 hours. The most recent one happened just after 2:30 this morning in an alley at University Place Northwest at Clifton Street. That's where we've joined our Dave Laval. And Dave, what do neighbors have to say about the homicides?
Well, Mark, the homicide that took place in the alley behind me is the 201st that has taken place around the district this year. 2022 is the second straight year the number of homicides has topped 200, and that has neighbors worried.
I mean, it's scary. These things just seem to be happening way too often now.
Jessica Loudon reacts to the news. D.C.'s 201st homicide took place not far from her home. Police responded to the alley between University Place and 15th Street Northwest early Friday morning. They found the body of 21-year-old Jonathan Guzman Hernandez of Upper Marlboro, Maryland. He had been shot to death. Police said they're looking for 2 Hispanic males dressed in all black and armed with a handgun.
And I mean, it just seems so arbitrary. It's, you know, the middle of the afternoon, late at night. There's no rhyme or reason to any of it.
Police have not released the name of the person shot and killed on Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue Southeast just before 9:30 Thursday night. Another person survived. Police said they're looking for a gray Buick sedan. Roughly 2 hours earlier, police found the body of 50-year-old Enikobo Macaulay Umo of Brandywine, Maryland, along 7th Street Northeast. He too had been shot. D.C. has now topped 200 homicides for the second straight year.
It's scary because it's so close to home.
Jackie did not want to give her last name or have her face shown. She also lives near where Hernandez died.
It makes me worried because I don't know if there's any, like my family members are walking down the street or any of my neighbors are walking down the street, anything happened to them. They probably didn't do anything, but they may be caught in the mix.
Police told us 171 homicides this year involved a gun. 15 fewer from a year ago, which saw the district with the second highest number of homicides since 2003.
Make me think about leaving the city, even though I love this neighborhood so much.
Police are offering a reward of up to $50,000, leading to the arrest and the conviction of the person responsible for each homicide in the city. Live in Northwest, Dave Laval, DC News Now.
Dave, thank you. Well, later this evening, our Leonard N. Fleming joins us with the story of one woman and her family and how they've been impacted by the rise in teen violence this year in the district. Please stay with us right here on DC News Now. New today, a car crashes into the living room of a Maryland home while 2 people are inside. These images are out of Atlanta. That's in Prince George's County. Fortunately, no one was hurt here, but the homeowners are understandably shaken. And we haven't confirmed if police with police just yet, but the homeowners tell us a teen was behind the wheel. No word tonight on any charges being filed. Also happening now, the Mega Millions jackpot grows to nearly $700 million ahead of tonight's drawing. According to lottery officials, tonight's jackpot will have an estimated value of $685 million. Mega Millions has now gone 21 straight drawings without a winner. The odds of winning are 1 in 302 million. Still got to play to win. The cash payout for tonight's drawing would be just under $350 million. Coming up in the news at 5, years of waiting and legal battles later, former President Trump's tax returns released to the public. What we're learning from them and how some Republicans are reacting. You're watching DC News Now at 5, covering the news where you live, from Washington, D.C. to West Virginia. Please stick around. We'll be right back with more.